wonder if we're going to get something very similar to what we did in November, where ADA had just this sea of green, where on that run up there was like 5 daily red candles. We truly have the potential of doing that right now because of obviously ADA fundamentals, conviction of holders, the news surrounding ADA, and the narrative surrounding ADA is big. And in fact, when we're looking at something like ADA dominance, we're taking some steps forward. And I didn't notice this before, but when this does take place, it looks like this is when all hell is going to break loose and ADA is going to have some of its best runs yet. So we're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So right now it's about 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Wow, I can't speak. Central Standard Time. Speaking, geez. And what we're seeing is just some of that chop like we were talking about, seeing a little early sell off in the day. And we could again see one of those days where we kind of chop around, where we're not really making much in terms of direction. It looks like ADA actually might be starting to print a little bit of a bull pennant here. We'll see if that does play out. And then obviously into the early part of the next week before we maybe make a stab to the upside. This isn't, a guarantee. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, but that's how things are looking like they're going to be playing out so far. But what I will say is ADA's done, again, a very good job of extending from these trends. It's well broken out above its 20-week moving average. So this is a big bullish reversal confirmation for ADA. This is one of the largest weekly candles we have seen for ADA since all the way back in, what would that have been? Technically that late February candle, because that included March 2nd and March 3rd. Now, I did find something very interesting here when it comes to ADA dominance. And we obviously talked about ADA dominance yesterday. We've talked about ADA dominance before. And we were talking about this big trend reversal, right? This big inverse head and shoulders that's playing out. And we're trying to make this next extension to the upside. And there is going to be a moment here where all hell should in fact break loose for ADA. And that is actually when we do in fact breach this 100-day moving average. Now, why this is so important is if you guys haven't noticed in the past, when ADA has been trying to create breakouts, that 100-day moving average has served as pretty crucial resistance. And when ADA finally breached this, we went on very extended runs. All right, take a look back here, resistance, 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 extended run for ADA. And now what we're doing is we're fighting this resistance, resistance, resistance. Currently, ADA's, even our daily candle today, it came up, it almost tapped that compared to, came up and almost tapped that. I'm losing my train of thought. We did in fact tap this on yesterday's daily candle. So that is the point where I think ADA has an opportunity to make some more extended runs versus the crypto market. We look at last market cycle, last market cycle, it was actually our 50-day moving average. So things have actually kind of changed. And, ADA is showing a little bit more conviction, a little more resilience than it has in the past, which is a very good sign. And we talked a lot about that yesterday. So this would be the moment I'd really watch for when ADA starts closing some daily candles above here. That might mean it's in fact go time. Now, what we do also need to continue seeing is USDT dominance continuing to drop off. All right. We've had a solid week of red, a solid week of drop in terms of USDT dominance. So again, we're still seeing more and more and more capital entering the crypto market, more people on the sidelines realizing that, hey, I may have just messed up and gotten stuck in stablecoins. I've talked to a few people that are slowly but surely realizing that. Now, where all hell is going to break loose when USDT dominance drops is we do in fact need to breach this trend that we were building. Obviously, this uptrend that started all the way back on December 5th. But specifically, when we can drop below, it's about 4.45%. That's local support for BTC or for USDT dominance. When we do start breaching that trend on daily candles, that is going to be a very big deal. That is when you're going to see a lot of FOMO. That's probably when adoption is going to start taking place in the crypto market. We're not there yet, but you start seeing some more days like we saw on Thursday, you could very quickly see a major shift in the crypto market take place. All right. Now, that being said, total market cap of crypto still broken out, still looking very good there. Total 3. Very close to a breakout now, guys. Total 2, very close to a breakout as well. So obviously Ethereum making some moves here is really helping push the market. Okay. Ethereum very close to a breakout as well. It seems like right now we're either going to do one of two things. All right. We're going to get stuck kind of in this chop for a short period of time, or it seems like we're just going to get some type of momentum, maybe some piece of news that just causes us to blast through the ceiling and make some more extended runs. Maybe it's even just some liquidations of these shorts like we were talking about earlier today. Now, understand that this doesn't need to all take place in one day. All right. It doesn't need to take place today either. It could be, we could shop until the middle of the week when we get our CPI report. And maybe that's something that gives us just a little bit of spark in the market. But slowly but surely, the confidence is in fact shifting. Like we talked about yesterday, we look at the overall sentiment in the crypto market. We're in the greed phase, right? We're at a very different spot than we were just back here. And frankly, I've seen some people complain and say, oh yeah, ADA's moved 15 cents. That's nothing. Guys, since this dip back here on April 16th that people thought was meant that we were just going to continue dropping back down and set lower lows, ADA's moved to a high of 37%. All right. Even right now, at the time of filming this video, ADA's up 33%. That's a pretty good move for a $20 billion asset. All right. Almost $30 billion asset now in crypto. We're number 9. We've pretty much cemented ourselves here, guys. And now it looks like ADA does want to start making some more significant runs up. Really floating around that $1 billion trading, or $1 billion in daily trading volume range. I mean, on a fundamental level, all these things that we've talked about for a very long period of time are basically starting to rear their heads. And now it's a question of, how high does this take us? When do we see this next run here stopping? What I will say is on the daily, we've kind of gotten to this overbought range in terms of ADA, which we have in fact done before on some of these major runs. Taking a look back here at November, you guys can see we did in fact enter this kind of overbought range, but we still hadn't even really started our run. That was after ADA was surging from basically this low 30-cent range, and we only hit 44 cents by the time we were at these current ranges. And we know what happened after that. ADA ran all the way up to $1.32. In fact, again, just looking at our weekly, this is showing weekly stochastic RSI. This is showing that really this run is just getting started. We're just emerging from here. All right. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. That is what I'm watching for. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully we get some good news to keep carrying the market, but appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.